Welcome to East Brainerd, a beautiful suburb just 15 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. I'm standing here outside the Hamilton Place Mall, which is really at the heart of East Brainerd, Tennessee. If you're thinking about moving to Chattanooga and you're trying to decide what the perfect area is for you, you're in the right place, because in this video, we're going to be exploring one of Chattanooga's most sought after suburbs. In terms of its real estate market, East Brainerd is one of the most active markets in the Chattanooga area. As of early 2025, the median home sale price is in the mid $400,000 range. In terms of housing in the East Brainerd area, there is a very wide variety of options. There are neighborhoods that are full of older, kind of mid-century homes. There are some upscale, very prestigious neighborhoods. Recently, there have been a number of smaller developments popping up where a builder will buy a couple of acres, get it rezoned, and then do a street full of new build houses. There are some townhomes, there are loads of apartments, so people that are looking to rent, there are plenty of options there. And then there are a few very expensive and prestigious neighborhoods in the East Brainerd area. If you were looking to buy land in the area, a decent lot would probably cost you about $75,000. And there are some homes at the very high end of the market in this area that are worth multiple millions of dollars. If you're looking for a 3-bedroom home, expect prices to start in the high $300,000 range, and 4 bedrooms will likely be in the upper $400,000 range. Now, as of the making of this video, houses in the East Brainerd area tend to stay on market between 2 and 3 months. They aren't moving as quickly as they were a few years ago. That's still relatively fast. Let's talk about some of the top neighborhoods in the area. One of my favorites is Mountain Shadows. Now, this is a slightly upscale neighborhood. You have larger, mostly brick four-side homes in this neighborhood, and it is beautiful. A little bit quiet, it's a little bit set back from the main stretch of East Brainerd, but it is an absolutely gorgeous area to live, especially in the summer when all of the trees come into bloom. Twin Brooks and Addison Place are both communities that offer townhomes at a bit of a lower cost and with lower maintenance. So if that's something you're interested in, those could be communities to look at. One of my favorite new communities in the East Brainerd area is Social Circle, built by Empire Homes. Now, this neighborhood is still in development, but I love the homes. I think that the price point for what you're getting, the build quality, is really great. On the luxury end in the East Brainerd area, we have the Council Fire Golf Community. Now, this is not a gated community, but there are very high-end homes in the Council Fire community. The community spans over the Tennessee and Georgia border, so about half of the community is in Georgia, the other half is in Tennessee, and there is a wide variety of housing and square footage available in the community. There are a few townhomes in Council Fire. Those tend to have a bit of a lower price point, maybe starting in the 400,000s, and then you can work your way well into the $1 million range in Council Fire. The golf course at Council Fire has a really good reputation, and it's pretty sought after. So if you're interested in golf and you want to live in the East Brainerd area and have close access to shopping, dining, the airport, downtown Chattanooga, then Council Fire could be an interesting community to look at. On the highest end and very close to the main commercial part of East Brainerd is the Legends. Now, Legends is a gated community with very large homes in it. We're probably starting around 6,000 square feet for these homes. Price points are starting in the low $1 million range and going much higher than that. Okay, let's talk about shopping and dining. This is really what the East Brainerd community is known for. This is kind of like the second city center for Chattanooga. You've got downtown, which is all these historic buildings. It's got this historic district. It's beautiful. It's very cool. And then you have East Brainerd, which has the Hamilton Place Mall, which at one point was the largest mall in Tennessee. It might still be. It's a very, very large mall for a city the size of Chattanooga. I'm currently right outside the Hamilton Place Mall, which is at the heart of East Brainerd. A lot of malls in America are kind of dying. You're starting to see a lot of vacancies in the malls. Hamilton Place is an exception to this, especially for a medium-sized city like Chattanooga. It really is impressive how well the Hamilton Place Mall has held on. So the mall in East Brainerd is by far the biggest in the area. There is a mall over in Hickson, but it's quite small compared to the mall here. Other malls in the greater Chattanooga area have not held on nearly as well. I'm thinking, for instance, of the Northgate Mall up in Hickson. That has a lot of vacancies. The Hamilton Place Mall, on the other hand, has really thrived over the past few years. At the Hamilton Place Mall, you have stores like Dillard's, you've got Belk, you know, kind of your standard mall stores. There's also some stores like Ann Taylor, you've got Abercrombie, Aeropostale, Hollister, Dillard's. Dick's, JCPenney, as well as a number of supporting stores and complementary stores in the inside. There's also a Barnes & Noble, which happens to be one of my favorite stores in the Hamilton Place Mall. Find another mall this large and this full, you're gonna have to go down to Atlanta or up to Nashville, but really within 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half of this area, this is the largest mall. In terms of dining and places to eat, there is a ton of options in the East Brainerd area. You have everything from fast food, including things like Burger King, McDonald's, you know, all the standard ones, Chick-fil-A. But then there's a few chain restaurants that are a little bit more elevated, things like First Watch for breakfast, and you have Cheesecake Factory, PF Chang's. There's also a Ruth's Chris, there's a Malone's, there's Olive Garden. There are a few local places like Mean Mug, the Maple Street Biscuit Company, Taco Mamacita. There are a bunch of different steakhouses. There's a Ruth's Chris, there's a Texas Longhorn, there's an Outback. I was hungry before I started recording this video. Now I'm really hungry just thinking about all these places. Now, if the Hamilton Place Mall is at the heart of East Brainerd, then Gun Barrel is the main artery. Gun Barrel Road is where everything is. If you're speaking with anybody that's lived in Chattanooga for a while and you say, oh, maybe we should go look for a restaurant down on Gun Barrel or near that, they'll know exactly where you're talking about. Off of Gun Barrel, there are a bunch of dentist offices, medical practices. There is an Erlanger location. There is also a Walmart, Whole Foods, Target, Best Buy. Sometimes it feels like everything is off of Gun Barrel. And if it's not off of Gun Barrel, it's very close to Gun Barrel. For me, the big shopping draws in this area are Whole Foods, Barnes & Noble over in the mall, Best Buy, I go there quite a bit, REI, and stores like Nordstrom Rack, Dick's, and Academy Sports. Now, in terms of grocery stores in this area, there are 2 Publix locations in East Brainerd. There's a Walmart, there's an Aldi, there's Trader Joe's, there's a Target, there's a Whole Foods, Fresh Market, World Market. Basically, everything that you need is in East Brainerd. So let's touch on things to do. There are indoor entertainment options like Dave & Buster's. There are a couple movie theaters. There's a trampoline park as well. And then over off of East Brainerd Road, there is a park, Heritage Park, which is a great location to get out and walk the dog. There's a playground there so the kids can get out and play. There's also a creek that runs through Heritage Park, and I remember as a kid when my parents would take us there, my brothers and I would always get in the creek and try to catch minnows and things with our nets, and it was just a really beautiful place to go and spend a summer afternoon. There's an ice cream store just on the edge of the park. It's called Brewster's, and what I loved to do growing up is we would go to Heritage Park, we would grab some ice cream at Brewster's, we would play in the creek for an afternoon, we'd go play on the playground, swing on the swing, and it was just a great place to hang out growing up. You have Audubon Acres. This is an 130-acre park. It is a nature reserve and it is pristine. There's access to a creek. A lot of people like to go out there to bird watch. In terms of golf, there is the Council Fire Golf Community. That's a private golf course. Very close, there is the Brainerd Golf Course. That's not actually in East Brainerd, but it's a very short drive. There's also the Brown Acres Golf Course, which also I think falls just outside of East Brainerd, but it's a very close drive. And then not too far away, there is a Top Golf and there is an area called Camp Jordan. So I think, again, that falls slightly outside of what's technically considered East Brainerd, but it's just adjacent to it, very close. And finally, let's talk about job opportunities and employers. So if you want to work in the East Brainerd area, chances are you're going to work in one of 3 industries: service, sales, or healthcare. As I mentioned earlier, there are a number of dentist offices, eye doctors, and there is an Erlanger location. There's also a Galen Medical Center there, which is like your OBGYN and that stuff. There are also a few med spas there. So those would be options in the medical industry. Obviously, there are a ton of restaurants and retail locations. So if you want to work in the service industries, then that could be an option. And then there are a number of sales organizations or recruitment organizations that are based around the East Brainerd area. What's nice about East Brainerd is it's very centrally located. So you could live in East Brainerd and easily commute to downtown within 15 to 20 minutes and be at the office and then get back. Or you could commute over to Ottawa or to the Volkswagen plant. It would be easy to commute to any of these other Chattanooga suburbs where there are other major employers. The Chattanooga Metropolitan Airport is also about 10 to 15 minutes from East Brainerd, depending on where you live in East Brainerd. So that is very close. If you work in the airline industry, if you're a pilot or if you frequently travel for work or just enjoyment, then it's nice to have close access to the Chattanooga airport in the East Brainerd area. That's it for this video on East Brainerd. If you have any questions about living in East Brainerd or in Chattanooga in general, feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment. If you made it this far in the video, YouTube thinks that you're gonna like this video here, so go ahead and check that out. And if you need help finding the perfect home or just have any questions about real estate in general, I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call or shoot me a text. My phone number is 423-358-5656, or you can send me an email. I'll leave my email in the description and in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.